to Love Unfiltered. Today we are talking about boundaries and why setting them doesn't mean you're cold, difficult, selfish, or pushing people away. For so many of us, boundaries feel scary. We worry about being misunderstood, rejected, or unloved. We're often taught that love means constant availability, sacrifice, and putting others first. But the truth is, when boundaries are missing, love doesn't grow. It quietly turns into resentment, burnout, and emotional exhaustion. Now, research shows that people who struggle with boundaries are more likely to experience emotional fatigue, anxiety, and relationship dissatisfaction. There you go. Not because they don't care enough, but because they care too much without protecting themselves. Now, for my guest speakers and my listeners, take a moment and ask yourself, where in my life do I feel stretched too thin? Where do I feel guilt for saying no, even when I need to? Now, in this episode, we'll dive into what boundaries actually are and what they're not, why boundaries are essential for healthy relationships, the fear and guilt that come with setting them, how to communicate boundaries with love and clarity, and then finally, how boundaries can actually strengthen connection instead of weakening it. Now, this episode isn't about distancing yourself. It's about protecting your peace so love can thrive. Now, joining me today are students from diverse backgrounds to share their perspective on boundaries, communication, and healthy relationships. We have Malik, who is a sophomore rehabilitation psychology major. We have Loye, who is a senior hospitality management major. And we have Jalen, who is a sophomore business administration and management major. And then we have a special guest here today. We have the amazing Spider-Man from Queens, New York, your friendly neighborhood hero. Thank you guys for joining me this evening.
No problem. It's Brooklyn now.
Oh, it's Brooklyn. Yes. He's from Brooklyn. My apologies.
No problem.
All right, now we're going to start with this, you guys. Why do you think boundaries are so misunderstood in relationships?
I would say I think that they're misunderstood because at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of people are kind of looking out for themselves and the things that they want. So if they feel as though they can, do it, then I think that they would. But I also think boundaries are just, like, not a common topic, Mm-hmm. Like, even when you're growing up, like, your parents are not really talking to you about boundaries. Mm-hmm. Often, you're in, like, a different family. A lot of times people will tell you, to please your family members. So you become a people pleaser, and that just kind of, like, fucks up your boundary system in general, I think. Mm-hmm.
Anyone else?
I think anything, which is why when you set a boundary where it's like you might not have access to everything, they might take it as you trying to close them off, when in reality, boundaries are important.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely hard sometimes because you don't want that person to feel like that, but they are important to have.
Mm-hmm.
I can add on to that because, I mean, yes, boundaries are important to take in any relationship. Because one, you have to do what you have to do to respect, to keep your peace.
And it could be something small too, like something small as letting me know if you're gonna take my car to like go somewhere that's like pretty far. Like I don't know, if I had a girlfriend and she just took my car and then drove like 2 hours away to go hang out with her friends, I would obviously want to know because it's my car. You know, yes, she's my girlfriend. Yes, she'll be allowed to use it, but it still would be a common courtesy for her to let me know, hey, I'm using your car to drive to go hang out with my friends. No problem. Just let me know.
I think boundaries are so misunderstood in relationships because people don't really talk. I think people forget to communicate with their partner. And so then when someone does bring up a boundary, the other person takes it personally or they get defensive, like, whoa, wait, what's this all about? Like, you can make a boundary where you tell the person, I don't like it when you call me I'm your bitch, right? And and the girlfriend may not like being referred to as a bitch by her man to his friends or literally to anybody. And he's just like, why? Like, you are my bitch. And you're like, no, I'm not. Don't call me that. I don't like being called a bitch. You can call me your girl. You can call me your girlfriend, your shorty, but don't call me your bitch. And then he's like, oh my God, you're being so sensitive. Like, it's not even that big of a deal. And I've seen that happen a lot. And I feel like people take boundaries and they don't respect them because they don't really take it seriously when it definitely should be taken seriously. So I think those two kind of coincide to why boundaries are so misunderstood because people don't communicate and they don't have healthy communication styles or who have learned to communicate with their partner in a healthy manner. And then there are others who don't take boundaries seriously. And I think it's like really not that serious.
I don't know. I think calling your girl or even the men, like, don't call no one bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like that's just disrespectful in general, you know, man or woman. Like, no one wants to be referred to as a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, because one, that's really disrespectful. Just calling somebody out of their name.
Yeah,
I concur. Okay.
I also think that with so from like my experience, right, a lot of guys from my experience think that like they can push your boundaries, right? Like, oh, she's just saying it just to say it, but I could push it. But then also, when you talked about communication, I think it would be really helpful for people to use the word, this is my boundary. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So we understand that it is a boundary because you could tell somebody you don't like this and them not fully comprehending that, like, this is a no, you know, like, this is like, I need to stop. But I feel like if you say the word boundary, like, this is my boundary, that will be they'll understand it a lot more. And if they don't, then they really didn't care about your boundaries or you. Mm-hmm. I think that's just
Mm-hmm. I agree. So, before we can set boundaries, we need to understand what they really are. Boundaries are clear limits that protect your emotional, mental, and physical well being. It is a form of self respect. It is a tool for healthy communication. And it is a way of teaching others how to treat you. Boundaries are not punishment. It is not control, rejection, or a lack of love. Without boundaries, relationships can become imbalanced, emotionally draining, or unhealthy, even when love is present. Now, what are the signs that you need to kind of, look out for if you may need stronger boundaries? If you're feeling drained after interactions with your partner, that's a sign. Difficulty saying no. If you find yourself feeling like you can't say no to your partner, like, oh my God, no, I don't want to do that, or no, I don't want to do this, or no, I don't want to, no. If you feel like you're always trying to please them or appeal to them, and you're not really trying to, well, listen to yourself, like, do I really want to do this? No, but you just go along with it because you just want to, please them. That's a sign. Guilt for prioritizing yourself. If you feel guilty for prioritizing yourself, that's a sign. Resentment towards your loved ones. And then fear of disappointing others. Now, with one case study, Jordan is always the go-to person for friends and family. Over time, Jordan starts feeling irritated and emotionally exhausted. Once Jordan set limits, the relationships don't end, they become healthier. You see? So Jordan was always trying to help others. She started feeling, or he or she started feeling emotionally exhausted. So they decided to set up limits so that they weren't draining themselves. And that ended up not really ruining relationships, actually ended up helping them out while also maintaining those relationships. So putting up boundaries, it can help a lot. They don't create distance. Unclear boundaries do. For my guest speakers, how can lack of boundaries affect emotional connection?
I think that it can affect it because it's like you feel like they don't respect you.
Mm-hmm.
You have that feeling of you don't respect me. You don't seem like you really care about the things that I want or like or don't like.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that can cause separation.
Right. Mm-hmm. Anyone else? Jalen, Spider-Man, anybody? Or does Lloyd the only one?
I think, yeah, to piggyback off of what she said, maybe you just don't. It's like you're choosing not to hear me, as opposed to just straight up not listen. Like you're choosing not to hear me, and I think that'll definitely affect me mentally. I'll give you a perfect example. I told my dad actually something that I didn't like about stuff regarding my mom that he would say, and he actually was like, so, and I'm like, all right. So now I understand that what I'm saying no longer matters. So emotionally, when it comes to certain things regarding my mom, I don't allow him to enter that part of my head. So yeah, emotionally, it does affect people.
Mm-hmm.
I can attest to that. I can attest to that as well because Spider-Man, he's actually got a really good point. He's not wrong because one lack of boundaries can affect you mentally because it's like your partner wants you to hear them, but yet still you're not hearing them. It's like you don't want them to be heard.
Mm-hmm. For the second question, What's one boundary people often overlook in relationships?
Sex.
Yeah, definitely.
I was gonna say space. Like understanding that there are some couples where they only want to be around the people that they're with, but other people who, enjoy doing other things. Like I'll speak from, so I guess I can piggyback off of like some of my friends. She'll get upset when he like hangs out with us because we all went to high school together, and she'll sometimes be like, he's always hanging out with y'all and stuff like that. And like, but he doesn't get upset when you hang out with like your friends. Like I feel like y'all need time apart because when they're around each other for too long, that's when they argue. Because you're around somebody, you're around somebody long enough, something will come up. Like I feel like one of my favorite sayings is, "You never know somebody until you live with them."
That part.
So it's like being around somebody for that long.
Yeah.
You'll eventually something like, oh, you don't like it when they smack when they eat, or you don't like how they eat, period, or you don't like how they just, I don't know, throw their dish in the dishwasher and not scrape the plate off. It's like the smallest things when you don't have space. So I feel like space is a really important thing. Having time to yourself.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I agree with that.
One little,
I feel like me personally.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I feel like me personally, like, when I'm in a relationship, I need space. But I feel like I just need space from, like, everyone. Like, I'll have times where I just want to be left alone. Friends, family, relationships, just in general, to, like, clear my brain and things. So I can definitely space.
One thing that my mom has taught me is that space makes the heart grow fonder. So you don't want to spend too much time around your partner because then you start getting irritated. You start resenting things. You start nitpicking and things like that. And as Spider-Man has pointed out, you want to take space from your partner sometimes. Have me time. Go hang out with your friends, your family. Be by yourself, honestly. You don't want to spend like 24/7 with that person. Because trust me when I say, you will start finding things about your partner that irritate you if you spend way too much time with them. But here's a question
I think you never want to get... I also think, like, you never want to get too comfortable,
What do you mean by that?
Does that make sense? Like, you always want to have things that you do on your own. So, like, you can have a relationship, right? But also have, like, a separate life that you do outside of that, Like, work or a hobby or something that's, like, outside of your relationship. Like, have your own things, too, not just a relationship. Because there's been times where, like, I've experienced when I was younger, a lot of girls have experienced where they just get so involved in their relationship to the point where it's like, if it ends now, they're not going to know who they are.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point. I know a bunch of people who were in a relationship, a committed one, that, just stuff doesn't stay together forever, like she said, and then it ended, and then she had to basically find who she was because she had been so wrapped around her entire, existence was based off of her and her boyfriend. And now that her and her boyfriend were split, it was kind of like, not that she didn't have a reason to live, but just she didn't have a
sense of
want
identity.
for anything. Yeah, she didn't have a want for anything. And it goes both ways because some people just operate better when they're in relationships and some people don't.
When you are dating somebody or you're with somebody, you always want to make sure you have, your own life outside of them. Do not make your partner the center of your universe. Like, don't make them, like, everything. Like, in a way of speaking, that if they were to just leave, you will still be yourself. you will still have yourself. You will always have yourself. But if you crumble apart and you lose your sense of self because a person left you, then that's a problem. So when you are dating, make sure you love yourself and you have a self identity. You have things outside your partner, because at the end of the day, your partner can leave and the only person that you have is yourself. So that's one thing I can say.
But I also think it comes back to boundaries, because loving yourself is boundaries.
That is true.
You know, and even though like sometimes it doesn't look like it or feel like it, you know, and but like loving yourself is boundaries, like letting them know. And it's also, the other thing is, it's okay for them to have a different opinion than you.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they want to do something that's different than you, or they like, I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and he was like, I like five. I was talking shit. I was talking, my bad. I was talking mad shit about Five Guys. No, not Five Guys. Shake Shack. I was like, Shake Shack is cool or whatever, but the sandwiches are good, and they're small. So it's like, I feel like I'm not getting my money's worth. But then bro was like, I love Shake Shack. And I was like, over Five Guys? And he was like, yeah, I think Shake Shack is better because Five Guys is too sloppy. So then I thought about it, like, should I debate this or should I just leave it as it is? And I just kind of like, I was like, you know, it is what it is. We'll just have two different opinions. And if we ever go get burgers, he getting one thing, I'm getting another. So it just is what it is.
And sometimes you just gotta leave it how it is. Instead of just arguing and yapping and going back and forth, and eventually you end up upsetting one another, you end up irritating one another, all these different types of things, just leave it alone. I still gotta learn that, you know? If you get into an argument with somebody, sometimes you just need to just leave it alone. Just leave it alone, and just, we agree to disagree. Just straight like that, you know? Because if you keep arguing, you're gonna end up draining one another. You're not gonna get nowhere. There's gonna be no solution made. All you're doing is just yelling, words going in one ear and out the other, and nobody's listening. No one's hearing one another. You're just yelling, raising your voices at one another for what? Nothing. Just to be more upset and be pissed off at one another by the end. And now you can't even stand being in that person's space because now you're upset at them.
You're not, Logan. You were actually not wrong about that, because when yelling, I'm gonna say right now, yelling in a relationship, yelling at each other is never a good thing, because one, nothing's gonna get resolved. Because one, y'all are not talking to each other, y'all are speaking at each other.
Mm-hmm.
You're literally yelling to one another. Yelling isn't gonna resolve it. Isn't gonna solve y'all's problems. What might solve y'all's problems is, when it comes to boundaries, sitting down, or like what's what I'm looking for? Compromising and see how you can like get the solution solved, or taking a deep breath and just trying to let it work out.
I also say, if you need to, walk away. Walk away and come back to the situation. Also, I agree with you about the yelling part. Like, I've learned even like how I talk to my brother, that if I'm talking in a tone that's not yelling, that's like more calm, but still saying what I need to say, things get across better. They hear you more. When you're yelling at them, all they hear is you yelling at them. They don't actually hear what you're saying.
Because the thing, you're yelling to, because you're speaking at each other. You're not actually talking to each other.
Mm-hmm.
That. One of the biggest reasons that boundaries feel hard is because they trigger fear and guilt. Common fears are like, I'll hurt their feelings, or they'll think I don't care, or they'll leave, or I'll be seen as selfish. Now, where do these fears come from? They come from people-pleasing tendencies, past relationship trauma, fear of conflict, and then being conditioned to put others first. Saying yes when you mean no doesn't protect the relationship. It protects discomfort in the moment. Now, here's another mini case study. Alex agrees to things out of fear of rejection. Over time, Alex feels unseen and resentful. Learning to say no actually creates more honesty and trust. Now, for my guest speakers, why does setting boundaries feel selfish?
Because as you said it, I feel like you summed it up really well. Like people feeling like they won't like you anymore, or they won't be here anymore, or sometimes you feel like you're like you just, I think a lot of it is like fear of abandonment and like anxious, you know? Like a lot of times people go into a relationship, they want to make it work, but what they don't realize is that like dating doesn't always guarantee a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So
Malik, we haven't heard from you in a while. You got anything to say to that question?
Sorry, could you restate the question?
Make sure you're listening, okay? Why does setting boundaries feel selfish?
Because to your partner, it can look like you're like trying to switch up the regular routine in their eyes. Like sometimes they might do things that they don't really know bothers you. So when you finally speak up about it, they'll look at it as, well, you never said anything about it before, so like, why are you saying something about it now? And sometimes the other partner, they'll look at it as you probably being extra, or you like, I don't know, switching up, like you acting different. So they can see it as like some type of, I don't know, betrayal, or like some type of, like some negative thing, when really the main important thing in a relationship besides communication is setting boundaries and, making sure that the other partner knows that you don't like this, or you don't like that, or you would prefer this over that. Some partners they'll take it as an offense, and others will accept it for what it is. And you can only hope that that can truly be the reality of the situation, like half the time, and sometimes it's not. But I mean, that's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
I can agree, because here's the thing. Another reason why boundaries, while setting boundaries feels selfish, is because one, we can't just prioritize our partners. You're also conditioned to prioritize like others, like your friends, your family, and everybody who's usually around you.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just prioritize that one specific person. You got to prioritize everything.
I agree with that. I also think that like you have to prioritize the things that you want and your comfortability. Like the goal in a relationship is to respect each other's boundaries, but also feel comfortable. And if I'm telling you that this is making me uncomfortable, or this is my boundary, and you're not respecting it, ultimately I'm feeling uncomfortable. I don't feel safe, and that's not the way to flourish in a relationship.
I agree.
I agree 100%.
Now, how can people pleasing damage relationships over time? I think it can damage relationships over time when you just constantly trying to please that person, and you're doing things that may potentially make you feel uncomfortable to do, but you do it anyway because you want your partner to be happy. or comfortable or feel good or any of those things, anything positive, feel like you care, feel like you're paying attention, feel like you respect them, make them feel like you see them, you're acknowledging their presence, and in turn that can really drain a person. Not only that, I mean, if you feel uncomfortable with it, you may end up like really hating it, and sometimes doing something out of love for somebody, even though you don't like it, you could end up resenting that person because you're resenting the action. You hate the action that you were doing, and you feel like it may be unfair that you have to, well, make sure that person is good, or you're just doing whatever to please that person. You're not really thinking about how you feel about it. And I think how that could damage a relationship over time. I think resentment can definitely grow from that. Self-respect is completely out the window at that point. Because, like I said, you have to respect yourself and your boundaries, too. And if you're not respecting your boundaries because you want to make sure your partner is good, or your partner is pleased or happy, that's not good either. That's what I think.
I agree with you because here's the thing. People pleasing can be taken into a lot of different levels. One, people pleasing can also be like you're feeling guilty that you like haven't done, like you're like you as in like yourself. You're people pleasing your partner because like you feel like you haven't done enough or you haven't done anything at all. And that's where it gets to where you're like you start feeling guilty, like you feel like you haven't done like anything for your partner at all, or you haven't done enough. But then again, you have to do here's the thing. It's the little things in life that matter.
Mm-hmm.
You can't people please too much because one, you're gonna push that person away. That person's not gonna be around you no more.
Love bombing is actually the word to describe that. Love bombing is actually love bombing is actually a form of gaslighting. If you guys didn't know.
I did.
Yeah, because you're like.
I also think that loving your partner. Oh, I also think pleasing people just gets to a point where it's like, what about you? Like you've done all this work, and then they just up and leave you. Like you done did all that work for nothing, basically. But then even if you did it, like it's still gonna end up that way because they've gotten so used to taking advantage of you. They don't know anything else. And how can you be mad at them when they have gotten used to it? When you really should have just been yourself. And I agree with you, like the little things matter. I do agree with that though. So.
Spider-Man, what do you think?
Don't let something that you don't like become a habit, because then the person's not gonna see the problem with it when you finally do come out of your shell and mention it.
That's exactly a good point. And then
I've definitely done that before.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that before with my friends. Not even like real. I've done that before with my friends. Like sometimes like, bro, this really throws me off. But like if I say it, how are they gonna take it? Like obviously you have to work on your delivery because we're all human. If somebody comes to us with something that we don't like, we're obviously going to go on the defensive. Everybody does it. So you definitely have to work on your delivery. But, like, if it's something that they've been doing for so long, it's like, why didn't I say something earlier? Right. And then I start doubting myself. And I'm like, should I say something? Is it too late to say something? And are they going to look at me crazy if I say something? Because even if they're an understanding person, they've been doing it for so long that it's just a part of who they are. So it's not 100% their fault. So now I got to look at myself and be like, dang, maybe I should have said something earlier. So don't let something that you don't like become a habit. If you know off of, this is just with anything, not just relationships. If you know off of the first, I don't know, I say it takes at least 2 years to really know somebody. If you know off of like those first 2 years that there's something that they do or something about them that you don't like, you tell them. And if it's not something that they can change or that they're willing to change, then you either A, have to accept them for who they are, or B, find a new friend or partner or whatever it is that they are to you.
I agree. I 100% agree.
But don't settle is basically what I'm saying. Don't settle.
Mm-hmm. And don't try to change somebody too.
Yeah, no. When I say like change, I mean like I guess, I mean when you tell somebody, you know, hey, I don't like when you do this, you're not changing them. You might be addressing something about them, but that's not going to change them 100%. It's just addressing something about them that you don't like. So when I say change, I don't mean like quite literally change them, but just, you know, I guess help for y'all to have a comfortable, with anybody, for y'all to have a comfortable relationship, whether it's your guy friends, girlfriends, whatever. Mm-hmm. Y'all have to have that, you know, boundaries that are set so y'all can both communicate on a positive plane where y'all could both meet at, where all parties are happy.
Okay. And then for the final question, what role does fear of abandonment play in boundary setting?
A fear of abandonment plays a big role because you're afraid they're going to abandon you if you don't do what they want.
Mm-hmm.
That's really it. Like, you're afraid that they're going to abandon you if you don't do what they want. Like, now, then, however long you've known them, it's just you're afraid that they're going to leave.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I think if you ever get to that point, you really need to look at yourself. Because if someone's leaving you, then that's their choice. And you can't stop them from leaving you, you know? All you can do is show them who you are, you know, and hope that they like you for who you are.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I always think love is a gamble. Because it is.
It is. You don't know where you're going to get until you're like, maybe 6 months in. Kind of ish.
But then again, fear of abandonment also applies in like self-sabotage or pushing your loved ones away.
Mm-hmm.
It does. Like, you think they're going to leave you, or you think they're doing this, so you just leave before they do it, what you're assuming they're going to do, and they literally weren't even going to do that in the first place.
Exactly.
What role does fear of abandonment play in boundary setting? If you fear being abandoned, you need to work on yourself. There have been times where I was healing from breakups and stuff like that, and I felt like I lost a piece of myself. Other times I felt like I lost my whole self. And especially after my first relationship, I remember I felt like my whole world just freaking imploded in on itself and then exploded later on. I felt like no one was ever going to love me because that was my first ever relationship, and I was like, wow, what am I gonna do, you know? And I drove myself mad because I was so devastated by the breakup, but also because I lost my grandmother around that time too. My mum. I lost my mum around the time he broke up with me, so that didn't really help with the stress of losing a loved one that I've known my whole life. And I think that like feeling like I was abandoned during a time where I actually needed somebody. During a time of grief, I believe I carried it on into the second relationship. And then the second relationship, oh, love you too, someone in the live. I carried that fear of abandonment into the second relationship. And that was a relationship I should not have carried fear of abandonment, that habit into, because I stayed in that relationship was toxic and abusive, and I was scared of being alone. I didn't love myself enough to be by myself. So I stayed in that relationship for almost nearly 2 years, put up with a lot of bullshit because I was scared to be alone. Because I was not alone long enough to love myself and understand that it's okay to be single and with yourself. Because I'm not lonely, I'm just alone, and that's okay. Like, you can be alone and happy, but I didn't understand it at the time, so I dealt with that crappy relationship for almost 2 years. And then when I finally, with the help of my family, gained enough courage to leave after I had been so tired of dealing with all the bullshit, I was just like, I'm done. And my family, my siblings, my mom, they were right there and they helped me leave that man. And we were like, you know what I mean? And I left and never looked back, and I was so much happier. Like, I started finding my sense of self. I realized people were starting to show interest in me. And the thing is it was really hard to leave that relationship. And it made my fear of abandonment much worse because he put in my head that no one would ever love me. He put in my head that no one would ever love me. He did worse than the first one. Like, the first one unintentionally made me feel like I wouldn't find love again. But this guy intentionally wanted me to think I would never find love again, and he was like, you'll never find anyone like me. No one will ever love you because you're this, you're that, and men don't like these type of traits in a woman, and all these types of things. He called me argumentative when I defended myself. Literally, I was silenced like a sheep, and it was ridiculous how much I put up with, and that grew my fear of abandonment much more. And then when I finally, like I said, found the courage to leave, I left. And people started showing interest when they realized I was single. And I was like, wow, he lied right to my face. Like, he lied right to my face. I started seeing right straight through the lies. That's not true. He even made me feel like I wasn't beautiful. And I was like, but after I left him, and people started telling me, like, girl, women and men both were telling me I'm gorgeous. I was like, wow, I just had to see it, I had to open my eyes and let that veil come off my face and see it for what it really was. And then that's when I was like, cool beans, okay, great. And oh my gosh. And then the third relationship, I was able to really find my confidence. I never felt like I couldn't speak. So I was gradually learning how to speak up for myself over time in my third relationship. And I was breaking out of that shell that I was in the second one. Now I was gaining my confidence. My self-esteem was rising. I now knew, excuse me, I now knew that I am beautiful, all these different things. And I mean, yeah, my third relationship was kind of like a confidence booster because the person I was with was not like a fucking dick and was like like just shit on everything that I was, what I mean? Like, he was very supportive and stuff. So, and he wasn't a dick like the last guy. So, bing, bada, boom, I found my courage, blah, blah, blah. Now here I am single, and I don't have that fear of abandonment anymore at all. I so much so that I have actually dropped friends. I have dropped friends in the last year. People that You know, maybe back then when I was in that second relationship, I would have been like, no, I'm not gonna leave that person. I'm not gonna drop that friend, even though they're like disrespecting me. I'm not gonna like stop being friends with them because I don't want to lose a friend because I'm gonna be like one friend less. You know what I mean? But by that point, bro, it was like, look, bro, you disrespect me, you're gone. Stage left. You know what I mean? And that was it. And I was like, that's when I started like kicking people out of my life. Like, you disrespect me, you're gone. You know what I mean? And that shows the growth from my freshman year of college in my first relationship all the way to now, and I've flourished into having gone out of this really bad, I would say a toxic habit. Honestly, it's a toxic habit for oneself, and it is the fear of abandonment. I don't know if any of you listening to this live have gone through that or currently are going through that. I don't know if any of my guest speakers here are currently going through that or have gone through that, but that was my experience with fear of abandonment. It's a real disease. I would even go as far as to call it that.
It's a very big insecurity. Because understanding that, like someone told me that rejection is protection. And ever since I heard that, I've always thought of it that way. Like, they're not abandoning me. And honestly, they're protecting me, you know? Because maybe it wouldn't have gone that well, you know? But now I don't have to know because I am protected from it. Whatever bullshit they have.
I like that. Rejection is protection. Do you mean like if your like instincts are kind of telling you like, or like your intuition is telling you like, I think this person might be a bad person. I think I should not let them stick around in my life, and so you just reject them straight up, and lo and behold, you were right the whole time. They were an ass the whole time.
Yes, that also if they reject you. You know,
oh, they saved you. Right, they saved you. What do the guys think? Jalen, Spider-Man, Malik, come on. I want a male perspective on fear of abandonment, please. Guys, hello?
I don't think I have that.
Huh? Really?
I don't think I have that. I can't say that I do.
Yeah, me. Yeah, I don't have it either.
Damn.
Like, I'm trying to think of something other
like,
than
I don't think I have that, no.
Nah, I tried to. Yeah, I hear you. I tried to, but I don't think I had that. If I did, you would know.
Yeah, I don't have fear of abandonment either.
Good for you guys.
I think for girls,
it's an emotional complex. I think
talking to like your parents and your friends and your other lady friends and even some male friends too, like they always, depending on the friend group you have and some of your family members too, they always make it sound like being in a relationship is what you need. You know, like you need a man. Oh my God. You have to have a man. And you have to figure out how to keep the man there.
Yeah.
And
okay, hold on. Okay, no. First of all, no. You don't all, first of all, no. Not everyone, you don't need a significant other. You don't.
I know that you don't need, but I feel like as girls, it's a little different because we're taught to like settle.
Have a boyfriend. Get married. Get a ring on the finger. Have kids.
Think about it, it's like, if you think about it, it's not really a need. It's kind of a want.
Yeah, but we're raised to think it's a need. Like, it looks good. It looks good. That's the end goal. That's end game. Like, Avengers, Spider-Man, end game. Yeah, he understands what I'm saying. Like, it's end game.
I wasn't in that movie.
Oh my God. My bad. Wrong one.
That's Tom.
All of you guys understood that reference. You know, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I got it.
I did.
Yeah, I did, but he wasn't in that movie. Not from what I checked.
Nah, I wish though.
Yo, web sling it.
Yeah, facts, bro. I think we can get all attest to that.
Like Marvel fans.
No, but like,
not joking.
I can like remember at like a young age, right, where like my mom, right?
Mhm.
Out of jokingness. No. Yeah, my mom too. She'll go over to people who are like 30 and be like, "Oh, when are you gonna have kids? Ha ha ha." You da 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 da. You know what I mean? And you don't have to have kids. Or like I have another memory where my grandma was like, "Oh, you shouldn't be carrying heavy things because you don't want to hurt your eggs, because you want them to be ripe for your husband."
Oh,
So
Well, I'm
little
sorry,
shit like
repeat that one
that,
more time.
that made me feel
Wait,
uncomfortable.
I'm sorry. Wait.
right?
Wait, I'm sorry. Wait.
I'm sorry,
I missed. Wait, I
ripe?
missed. I missed something. Wait.
Ripe?
Repeat what you just said one more time.
Like R-I-P-E? Ripe?
So like one time my grandmother told me, and I think this is just like was something that like was told to her maybe, but like she told me I shouldn't be carrying heavy things because if I do I'll hurt my eggs.
That is such an
And I
old
have to keep them
traditional
ripe.
thing to say.
I have to keep them ripe for my husband in the future.
Okay. What?
What?
Exactly.
Whoa.
Exactly.
I love how we're all just like, whoa, wait. Okay, first of all, I'm not gonna lie.
like, what
I
the
would
fuck
have
is
lifted.
that?
I would have lifted whatever it was, just like right in front of her, just to make her mad. That's just me though.
I mean,
But like I can't even be mad at her because someone told her that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I
that
mean,
was
yeah, I
that,
mean-
and that's in her age time. Like I was looking at her like that don't even make any sense anymore. But like during her age time, I could understand that. But
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about. Like you got family members telling girls, when are you gonna have kids? Oh my gosh, you got a
Oh
boyfriend.
my
Congratulations.
God.
When are you gonna marry him?
Right.
You don't even know if he's gonna be here that long. You know what I mean?
Right. So then,
You got
so
shit
then,
like that.
Exactly.
so
You-
then,
and
so
then you
then,
also
hold
got
on.
friends.
So then,
who are my
right? So then, girls.
girlfriends,
So
and
then,
even
girls.
some, like,
when their boyfriends leave them or break up with them or cheat on them or what have you, they blame it on themselves. They think they failed, biologically stating, like on a stance of biology, women feel like they biologically failed because they're supposed to find a mate at
They're
a
not
certain
supposed
age.
to. Here's the thing, I get y'all were raised to think that way, like not saying like y'all in general, but women in general. I'm saying like women don't need. It's not a need. It's more of a want.
Oh, no,
like,
we completely
like, just saying, like,
yeah, it's just that we're
like in
speaking.
y'all's
We're
perspective,
speaking
it's more
for.
of a need. It's not a want.
We're speaking on behalf of women who do think that way, and I have, thought that
so
way
like
before.
male-centered women. You have some people, like I've had some friends who've been very male-centered, right? I've had some girlfriends who don't even want to be friends with me because I don't have a significant other and they do.
Okay,
And the only time they
Oh,
want to hang
wow.
around people is with a significant other. Type shit, you know what I mean?
I've actually
Like,
heard of that. There are some women out there who will only have friends who are in a relationship. I've heard of that. That's a thing. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the same thing with guys too. I mean, I have a lot of people. A lot of my friends are in relationships, and it's the same thing with me.
Yeah.
I'd love to have one, but I don't want to have to explain to my girlfriend why I missed our date because I was stopping a mugging. So, yeah, there's that.
Hey, yo.
Real shit, bro.
Yo.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Mm-mm.
With great power comes great responsibility.
That's also Peter Parker.
I know.
Hey, yo.
You
Wait.
forget he Miles. He doing his own thing. He doing his own thing. Let him do his own thing, bro.
That's Shamik Moore. He's a creep. I'm not.
Oh, what?
He's the reason why you're not going to get another movie.
He's none of those
Dang,
things.
that's-
He's just him.
I don't keep up with
Spider-Man.
any of that, but is that serious? Is that real?
I mean, all right, he's not a creep, but like, he tried to talk
Taylor
to
Seinfeld.
two married women,
Ooh.
and they weren't jacking it. They weren't jacking it.
Mm.
Yeah, because you're talking to married women. Let's be so for real with you. Like, let's be so for real on what you were doing, on what he was doing.
Yeah, that's weird.
So look, you talking to a married woman. Like, does that not sound weird to you? Like, make it make sense.
It sounds weird.
Yeah. For anyone in the audience, you're not going to get my movie until 2028 if he keeps it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna be mad if that movie come out in 2028. I would be mad. Me and Malik done been graduated by then.
Damn. I want to be
Oh,
25.
I didn't know.
Ew. Ugh. Prime time of
I'm
my
sorry,
20s.
wait, what?
Ooh, you're going to be an adult. Ooh.
I'm going to be 25 by then.
I'm sorry, what happened?
I'm going to
Start
be
calling you
25 by
auntie.
2028.
Uh-uh.
Oh my god, I'm about to cry. Oh no, prime time. Jesus.
Logan, calm down. Logan, calm down. You still young.
Y'all literally call me a grandma. What do you mean? What do you mean? Y'all literally call me a
Who
grandma.
called you a grandma?
The whole friend group calls me a
Who
grandma.
called you a grandma?
And I'm like, how? I'm just 22. I don't even look old. I literally look like I'm 16.
Logan, I call you my sister because you're like a sister to me. I don't call you grandma. That's our
Mom.
other friend. That's them. Mom, not.
Yes.
Don't do that. No. Don't do that.
Grandma is crazy.
They be calling me
No,
grandma.
she's not wrong. Our other friends do call her grandma.
Auntie and Max, but grandma is perpetual.
I'm saying like auntie. Like,
Right,
they be calling
right.
Leela an auntie. She's 25. So how am I a grandma?
26. Wait, no, she's 26. What you talking about?
Damn, she aged. Well,
Yeah,
anyway,
she's 26.
I'm just
Now,
saying, like, y'all don't call her a
You
grandma.
can call Lila an auntie. That's
I
different.
And if you did call her a grandma, she'd beat your ass. Because disrespectful. But we're not
I'm
old.
like,
Like, we're
who
really
the
not old at all.
I'm gonna say,
Like, she's more of
who
an
the grandma calls you
auntie.
grandma?
Literally, like, most of y'all in the group call me a grandma. It's a hi.
I don't know. Again, why are you speaking in French? Who was y'all?
Who is we?
Exactly. Thank you, Malik. Thank you, Malik. Who is we?
I've never seen that shit in chat.
We're getting off
One time.
topic.
Have you seen that, Jay?
We're getting off topic. We're getting off
Who
topic.
is we? We the people of the United States.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yeah.
I'm scared. Okay.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell. I'm still a friendly neighborhood guy.
It's okay, Spider-Man. We understand.
Thank you.
I
I
believe
appreciate it.
Corey. So, for my listeners, the 2 people in chat, hi, hello. And then for my guest speakers, please do ask yourself, who am I trying to protect by not setting this boundary? Them or my fear? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself that. Now, how you communicate boundaries matters just as much as the boundary itself. Here are some healthy communication tools that you can utilize so that you are able to better place boundaries. Use I statements. Be clear and direct without over-explaining. Stay calm and consistent. Express care while stating your limit. And expect discomfort. And do not backtrack because of the discomfort. You stand on it. You stand on business. If you are putting a boundary down and your partner's like, oh, I feel uncomfortable that you're putting a boundary down. No, you stand on business. Don't backtrack. Don't be like, oh, I made them I made them feel uncomfortable. Oh, never mind. No. Respect your boundary. Don't backtrack. Keep it right there. They'll learn how to respect your boundary. Don't worry. And if they don't, then that may not be your partner. You know? Now, examples of loving boundary statements can include, I care about you and I need time to recharge. Or, I can't do that right now, but I want to talk about it another way. Or, this is important to me and I need you to respect it. And then finally, I'm setting this boundary so I can show up better. Boundaries are not walls. They are doors with locks. So for my guest speakers, my lovely, lovely guest speakers, what makes a boundary feel respectful instead of harsh?
Your space, my space. Like not even trying to be harsh, but my space makes my boundary feel that way.
But how do you make your boundary feel respectful, like without being harsh about placing it?
By trying to communicate to them, by trying to communicate to them like that you need your space and that you have to set boundaries with them by communicating to them.
I think it's all in how you say it. I think that a lot of times if you like give a compliment or throw a compliment in there, be like, I really care, or I really like what you do, or I want you to know I care about you, but this is my boundary, something like that. You know what I mean? You gotta spice it up because it's hard to talk about.
Speaking calmly. Speak very calmly. Don't cuss. Don't yell. Don't raise your voice. Just speak calmly and firmly so that they understand that you're serious. And don't make any jokes. Like, be serious about it. And that will make your boundary feel respectful, and they will better respect it than just freaking yelling in their face and starting an argument or being harsh about it. Because, like I told you, you start yelling at people, it goes in one ear and out the other.
Out the other.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
And on top of that, yelling at somebody is not going to get you. It's just going to. Here's the thing. And here's the thing. Coming from somebody, this is coming from me because I yell a lot, but over my time, I've learned it's not going to get me anywhere. Yelling isn't learning, like in a relationship, no matter if you're single, in a relationship, or whatever. It's not going to get you nowhere. You have to learn to talk in a calm tone and learn to be chill. You can't always yell at somebody because then you're gonna end up in a bad result. Or the result is gonna be really bad.
Always walk away. If you feel as though you are going to yell at them or anything, walk away and come back to the situation. I can't stress this enough. I will do this mid-conversation. If I feel myself getting riled up, I will literally walk away. Like, and I won't even, and it will just be like it'll just be like a flash for me. Like, I'll just be like, yep, it's time for me to go. Personally. But, like, yes. And
someone, I pinned a question in a live chat, and for people in the live to answer. The question was, what is a type of boundary you can have with a partner? This is on my main page, by the way. One person said respect, and then they said minimum boundary. What do you mean by minimum boundary? Could you go more into that?
They said minimum?
Yeah, they said minimum boundary. Like, what type of boundary you can have with a partner? They said minimum boundary. Can you explain more into that? Like, do you mean, like, barely any boundaries?
There should be a boundary minimum.
Or are you just saying, like, there should be at least one boundary, like, minimum? I can understand the respect one, though. Definitely. If your partner's disrespecting you, it's time to talk. Oh, God.
Yeah, it's not even just time to, well, okay, yes, I can say that. I can say this because, one, if you're not getting respect and love from your partner that you should be, then the only reasonable option, just break up.
Yeah.
Especially if they keep disrespecting you after having many conversations with them about their disrespect, and they just keep doing the same thing over and over. Like, they just don't give a fuck. It may be time to go.
Now, here's the thing. I'm gonna say this one time. I'm gonna say this. And if they say they're gonna change, and you see his name, some people can change. Me, I don't believe it because I've had people do me dirty a lot.
The person said, meaning respect is the minimum someone can show you. Oh, okay. So you're saying, like, respect is the minimum boundary. That's true.
I also think one of the other ones is honesty. I like to, before I get involved with someone, I like to let them know or to tell them, be honest with me. If you ever get to a point where you feel like you don't respect me or you don't want to be here, be honest.
Most definitely.
Because there's no need for us to play games or beat around the bush. Especially because if we're supposed to be, comfortable and honest with each other, let's just do that. And if this is not what you want, then you need to say that.
Sorry.
Whoa! What What was that?
Sorry, I have auto song association.
It's he said, let me know. That was
Don't mind me.
funny.
Don't mind me.
Do you have a soundboard? Do you have a soundboard with sound effects?
No. I'm just gonna hide in my little shell now. That's never gonna happen again.
No, but
No, that was good.
But I loved it. It kind of scared the shit out of me because I was like, I was listening and all of a sudden that like jarred me out of listening. I was like, that was
I'm
funny.
sorry.
He said, "Let me know." That was funny. Damn. Okay, hold on. Why is consistency so important after setting a boundary? Because if you're inconsistent, that's not really training your partner. And then, yes, I will use the word train your partner because, like,
that's a term. That's a respectful term.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're getting them used to, like, the boundary. So if you like keep slipping back, keep backtracking, keep like letting off the leash a little bit, that person's gonna kind of slip through the cracks, and it's not gonna get them used to it, and they're just gonna keep doing the same thing. So, like for example, what's a boundary I can think of? What's a boundary? Someone give me a boundary, just an easy one.
If I tell you not to go through my phone when I'm sleeping, don't go through my phone when I'm sleeping.
Okay. See.
Yes. Most definitely. Yes.
That's a boundary.
Oh, I'm sorry. If I ask or tell, but yeah, if I ask, I'm like, hey, you mind?
Okay. Now, let's
How about
say.
Don't lie to me and tell me before I find out.
Okay. So let's say for the first one, right? You tell your partner, I don't like it when you go through my phone while I'm asleep. Please don't do that. That's your boundary, right? Now, let's say they don't do that for a cool 2 weeks. And then by the third week, they do it. You find out they did it. And let's say by week 2, they do it. And you say something about it. You're like, hey, I caught you doing it. I told you don't do that. I don't like that. Like I told you before. Don't forget, right? All right, cool. They don't do it again for another 2 weeks. They do it again. But this time, you don't say nothing about it. So now they do it later that week. You still again don't, and then now you still don't say nothing about it. Now you're being consistent. Now they're gonna keep thinking they can just keep doing it. And you're not gonna say nothing. What are other boundaries that you guys can think of, Loye?
I guess like.
Let me see if I can find some.
Like, okay, one of my other boundaries for my girlfriends is please don't touch my makeup.
Okay. So don't touch your things without asking. That's a good one. There are many boundaries. There's communication boundaries. There's emotional boundaries.
Let me know when you're having friends over.
Huh?
Yes.
Let me know when you're having friends over.
Okay, that's okay.
I don't want to come out. I don't want to come out in the shower and there's
right.
5 of your homegirls sitting in my our living room.
Right. Okay.
Just let me know.
Let's see. Oh, I mean, this is more of like a respect thing. It can be a boundary too. Honestly, this doesn't even need to be said. This should be like common knowledge. But like, don't let your parents disrespect your partner.
Oh, most definitely, yes.
Like, if your parents straight up disrespect your partner right in front of your face and you don't do nothing about it, oh my God. That's like the utmost disrespect to your partner. That's been done to me before. And let me tell y'all, that's not fun. When their parent, especially the parent that's like the same gender as me, disrespects me right in front of my partner and I'm looking at him like, and he just does not do anything. And he's like, that's my mama though. Whoa, huh?
Yeah, I wouldn't like. Yeah, I wouldn't like that.
I don't care
Cause
if
like,
that's your mama.
nah.
I don't
Yeah,
care
like,
if
you
that's your
gotta
mama.
say
Your mama
something.
disrespected me.
Cause let me say this. Cause like my relationship, when I met my first met my girlfriend's dad, my ex's dad, he was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was low key terrified of the man only because it was like I thought it was like disrespectful because like he didn't really speak to me like any time I saw him. Like man's always had like a mean look on his face.
Ooh, yeah, like that. Like, you gotta
Like
acknowledge that. Like, hey, I don't like how you looking at my man, or I don't like how you looking at my girl. Like, what's up?
But here's the thing.
What's up with you?
No,
You're being disrespectful. You're being weird.
This is her dad. Like, and here's the thing. Mind you, she didn't say nothing. She was just like, "Oh, my dad's just really nonchalant." With a mean mother look on his face.
Yeah, you gotta tell the Undertaker to chill out, man.
Final boss.
Nah, I was low key scared because like here's the thing. Because like no, I was walking her to her door, and I'm like, why in the world is he just staring at me with this look on his face? I'm like, okay, I'm scared. I'm gonna back away now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, nah, I know this ain't gonna like me.
Yeah. And and I'm not gonna lie, some people will not correct their parents or even any family member because they'll say, well, I'm not married to you. So
what?
So
okay,
what?
No,
so what?
Right
okay, if we're if we're just dating, I don't care. If you're just dating me, we're married, what have you. If I am your partner, even if I was your friend, if I was just your friend and your family member or a friend of yours disrespects me, I expect you to defend me, especially when that person is in the wrong. And if you just let them do that because they're your family member or they're your friend, that shows that you don't care about me or you don't really fuck with me like that for real.
Yeah, because like one day, first of all, that Logan, I understand. I get what you're saying because first of all, you're gonna have to defend you if your parents, like if your significant other's parents disrespect you and your partner's not saying anything, that's a problem. You need to put your parents, I'm gonna say put them in check, but tell them not to do that.
I would check my parents in a very respectful way, but it's like you gotta be respectful. You want respect, if you want respect back, you gotta give respect.
But here's the thing though, respect is earned, not given.
That's true. I mean, so it's like if you keep disrespecting them, then why do you expect respect back if you're gonna keep disrespecting them?
Exactly.
That has to be earned. You may be a parent, but that don't mean you get to just disrespect anybody willy-nilly. That's what I think.
It's so funny because I feel like I've experienced the reverse where like a partner of somebody I knew was disrespectful to my family, to one of my family members. And it was just kind of like, they want me to like you, but what I've seen you've been doing, I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that I had to tell like my family member that like it's not that I don't like them, but from what I've seen, I don't like, and I don't know them to not like them. But for what I've seen, I just don't like.
That's valid.
So.
But again, that's like sometimes their first impression. Sometimes first impressions are everything. Sometimes they aren't everything.
Mine wasn't a first impression though, but I get what you're saying.
Another one, automatically gaslighting or manipulation.
No, don't even get me started on that.
Gaslighting and manipulation is an automatic, like, boundary crossing right there. I think also each partner is responsible for their own emotions, checking themselves, emotion regulation, all these types of things. So don't lose control of your emotions too much. Like, we're human, but that's also a boundary. Like, make sure that you're regulating your own emotions, man or woman.
Okay.
Disagreements need to stay respectful. Oh, no silent treatment as a punishment. Oh my god, that is a boundary of mine. I'm not gonna lie, I don't do that. I don't do that.
Yeah,
and that's been done to me, and I didn't even deserve it, guys. When I tell you that's traumatizing,
It is.
That. Oh my god! It made me sick to my stomach when my partner, my boyfriend, would ignore me for days. Days.
See, I'm blocking you.
Days.
I'm blocking you.
I'm like, and I didn't even do nothing. I didn't even do nothing.
I respect that.
We're not playing the quiet game. We would just never talk.
Like, so that's how you feel? That's how you feel? You can go more than 24 hours without talking to me. Bet. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, now, like, me now, I wouldn't put up with it. You can ignore me for 24 hours? Bet. Guess what? You won't be hearing from me for a cool couple of days. I'm going to ignore you, and I'm going to see how you feel.
Oh, I'm gonna wait till they text me and be like, "Who is this?" Because I don't know you.
Spider-Man, and I don't know how y'all feel about that, but silent treatment being used as a punishment.
I think it's immature though, honestly.
It is very.
Right, like you a grown ass, like you can't talk to me in person. Like you really got to go like just quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Like, what does that do? Like all that does is
Because here's the thing, you know what it does, Millie? It shows that person's level of maturity. They don't have that level of maturity that where they can just talk to you in person and just have a conversation. They show that level of immaturity where you can just get someone the silent treatment.
I just jumped out the window.
Oh.
I swung away. I went home.
Oh.
Period.
Hey, yo.
Yo.
You guys forgot I'm Spider-Man for 2 seconds. No, I was not committing harm against myself.
Good.
You guys don't try it though. It's not for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no, we're not.
I can't really speak for myself, but.
Right.
Let's see. I think taking breaks during arguments is okay, but come back to the conversation later. Definitely. Like if you're upset, circle back. It's okay to take a breather. Sometimes you do need to take a little break, but
I think there's a difference between taking a break and communicating that you need a break than just leaving. Like, that's when the silent treatment starts. Like, you just leave and don't say anything. Mm-hmm. But it's another thing to be like, hey, I need a break.
Mm-hmm. I think both of y'all should get time to be with friends, hobbies, family, and get rest. I also believe that both partners should know that alone time is not rejection. So both should understand that, like, if I ask for alone time, I'm not rejecting you. I just need alone time. And that should be understood.
My mom tells me that if you ever feel as though your partner taking alone time for themselves is rejection, you need to reflect. And you need to do something with your life because you got too much free time.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That is very true. I think we said already no checking phones or social media without consent.
Yeah, we covered that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, definitely.
We swung by it.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys think about partners talking about the relationship with other people?
Oh, I found that a huge red flag. Because why are you doing that?
What if they're doing it to get advice from friends and family?
They better be in a relationship.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They better be in a relationship. I had to deal with that. This one young woman, her friend was a little too vocal. She actually cursed me out in the street, but I had to maintain my. So we didn't split on like negative terms, but it wasn't like the best either. And her friend had a lot to say, but I had to maintain my silence because I didn't want to come off as aggressive since I'm, I don't know, man. I don't want to come off aggressive because she's like, her friend was like 5 feet even and something like that. So I had to just sit there and listen to her curse me out. But yeah, don't tell your friends, especially if they're not in relationships, because listening to a friend who's not in a relationship can get you kicked out of one.
Right.
So yeah, I say if you are gonna do it, make it somebody like how to explain it? Like somebody
who's not crazy.
Someone who's
Somebody
not
who
crazy,
minds
but
their
also
business.
someone who's actually like I know they're actually cared about your well-being. They're not just there. Like a close friend. I'd rather be a close friend than like one of your, I don't know, girlfriends that you met 2 years ago.
Right.
You know, I like to pick the people. If I'm telling somebody something, I like to pick the people I know who can close their mouths and who will just listen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who's not going to try to fix it or try to solve it? Who's not going to go to the other person to talk to the other person? Like, that's not what I need you to do. I just need you to listen to me, you know? Who can really mind their own business. Listen to it, understand it, and mind their business.
Mm-hmm. For physical and sexual boundaries, I would say that you can say no at any time.
That's valid.
Any time. If you said yes in the beginning, but then change your mind during sex, and you say no, that needs to be respected. And if that is not respected, then consent kind of goes out the window at that point. Because they changed, like, even if they went in with consent, they can leave anytime. Like, they can say no anytime. So, yeah, that, I think no pressure or coercion, obviously. Like, you should not be coercing anybody to have sex with you. That is definitely a boundary that you should not cross. I'm trying to think, how could someone coerce somebody to have sex with them? I can't think of an example.
It's been a while.
I can think of one.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one. Like, it's been so long, babe. Like, we haven't had sex in like a month. Like, come on, bro. Like, please, like, that can be guilt tripping.
Netflix and chilling.
Oh my God.
Netflix
Yes.
and chilling,
Yes, bro. Like, bro, like, oh my God. Like, they be saying, like, yeah, no, I want to hang out. And they call it Netflix and chilling. But it's like a camouflage way of saying I want to watch something, but also like do something too.
We ain't watching.
I want to watch something, but I want to try to touch you in the dark. I like to make them ask for what the fuck they want.
Yeah.
If you cannot communicate on what the fuck you want, nothing is happening.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, nothing is happening. Even like, you know, if I already decided nothing's happening, period. But if if I decided that maybe we could do a little something, I want you to say it.
Mm-hmm.
Use your words. Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah. Hold on. I'm trying to, because I want to say something to my listeners out there. Netflix and chill. Most people should know this by now. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know it until a couple months ago. But I will say that culturally, it often carries as a sexual expectation, even if it's said casually. And that problem starts when one person means watching a show. Literally, they do not want to do anything sexual. They literally just want to hang out and watch something. And the other person's assuming sexual access, right? But they don't say nothing about that. They don't say, oh, I want to fuck. I want to have sex. They don't say that. They just say, yeah, sure, we do Netflix and chill. But they have ulterior motives that they don't be transparent about. And that's the weird shit I be talking about. Like, you need to say what you want. What are your intentions? Do not be going in and don't explain your intentions to the person. That's weird. Why would you do that? Now you're catching them off guard. Especially, that's so unsafe for women, too. Like, a woman really could just want to just watch a show with a dude, and she's like, you want Netflix and, like, he's like, you want Netflix and chill? And she's like, oh, yeah, I'll watch a show with you. Has no clue that he actually has intentions of, well, touching up on her in the dark. And then she's on his place at night. Most times this happens at nighttime. Now she's in his domain, all alone, a woman with a man who is biologically stronger than her. And how can she say no? Now you've put her in a very tense situation. How can a woman say no? And all she's going to feel is afraid that if she says no and rejects him, that he might hurt her. He might lash out. That's why I really do disagree with the whole cultural appropriation of Netflix and chill, because it can go left very quickly. Now, another thing that people need to understand is coercion isn't always aggressive. It can often be subtle pressure. So let's say, like I said, if someone invites you over and expects sex because you agreed, that is coercive. Okay? Like, for example, well, I mean, you came over, so... Or, why else would you come if you didn't want to?
Here's the thing, if I'm going over your house or somebody coming over my house, I'm not, here's the thing, me, like, speaking from my perspective, I wouldn't expect it. Like, if I'm going over your house, or you come over my house, I'm not expecting you to want sex. I'm not expecting that. I just want to chill and watch movies. That's really it.
So I think like at this age, right? Like if someone says Netflix and chill, we obviously know what that means. You could really just be like, I want to watch a movie with you, or would you like to come over and watch a movie? But saying Netflix and chill,
the crazy part is?
implies
You want to know what the crazy part is? You could literally simply say that you want to watch a movie with someone, and they will still assume or have intentions to touch up on you, and that is just so disgusting. That is just so weird.
I was just trying to watch Phase 2 of the MCU. Turn around and half your clothes are missing. What's going on?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're like, okay, you got the remote in your hand, and you look over, and bro got his little wang wang out.
Okay. I was trying to watch a movie, and she didn't want to watch it.
But here's the thing, like me, I'm a different kind of man. I'm a different kind of person. I won't expect, like, again, like if I go over your house or you come over mine, I'm not going to expect sex. I'm not going to expect that. I don't want you to expect that. I just want to chill, watch a movie, eat some popcorn. That's really it. I don't really care. I'm not that kind of person just to want, like, no, not doing that.
But I'm also the type of person to, like, let people know. Like, I'll let them know, like, if I'm coming over, we're not having sex. We're literally just watching a movie.
Be transparent on both sides. End of story.
Exactly.
Like, tell that person your intentions. And if they reject you, oh, okay, what do you fucking do? They don't want to have sex with you. But don't try to force somebody into a corner by having them in your room, and then you make it clear what your intentions are, because then that's just... It's coercing. You put them in a very tough position, and it makes it really, really hard to say no. And I think people know that, and that's why they do it, because it's intentional. They know it's very hard to say no once you're in their bedroom, and you're making it clear that you want, well, something sexual. You made it awkward, but now that it's awkward, how can that person say no? It's intentional. It is intentional coercion. So we're going to leave that there. You heard all the boundaries that we talked about. There's a host of them, and it doesn't even stop there. There are so many different boundaries that you can place. The list keeps going on and on. We could talk all night about boundaries, but that was enough, and I think everyone should take that into consideration and, I don't know, take note of all the boundaries that we all just talked about. But yeah, setting boundaries often reveals who respects your needs and who benefits from you having none. Now, common reactions to boundaries would include respect and understanding them, confusion or discomfort, pushback or guilt tripping, or attempts to negotiate or completely ignore the boundary. Now, these reactions can mean that discomfort doesn't equal disrespect. Just letting you guys know, discomfort does not equal disrespect. Pushback may reflect adjustment, not rejection, but repeated violation. Oh, okay. But repeated violation, that's a red flag right there. Healthy love respects limits. It does not punish them. Today, we explored what boundaries really are, why they're essential for healthy relationships, and how to communicate them without pushing love away. For key takeaways, we went over that boundaries protect connection, they prevent resentment and burnout, they allow relationships to grow honestly, and they strengthen the right relationships, not the wrong ones. Setting boundaries doesn't make you cold, it makes you crystal clear. It doesn't push love away, it filters out what can't respect you. And it doesn't weaken relationships. It only strengthens the ones built on care. Now, next week, we are closing out the second season of this podcast with a special episode, Social Media and Mental Health in Relationships. Guys, it is our season finale and a celebration of everything we've explored this season, from mental health and intimacy to boundaries and emotional growth. You do not want to miss it. And, of course, I'd love to hear from all of you. Send in your personal stories, questions, or thoughts about boundaries, mental health, and relationships. Your experiences shape these conversations. If this episode resonated with you, subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who may need permission to protect their peace. You can find all of the episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and you can follow me on Instagram at loveunfiltered.podcast. Here's to love, self-respect, and honoring your growth. Boundaries aren't barriers. They are bridges to healthier connection. Take care of your heart, honor your peace, and get ready to celebrate with us in the season finale. I will see you all on Wednesday. Bye.